Welcome back for another book review. Today we are talking about this one. So this is Entering Hecate's Garden, The Magic, Medicine, and Mystery of Plant Spirit Witchcraft by Cyndi Brannen. So this book is for a very modern take on Hekate in the kind of more triple goddess vibe, kind of more Wicca-ish, big on the ish. The concept of, from Wicca, like the Great Mother, and like the goddess in the aspect of Hekate, and then also like a lot of UPG, and then it kind of it leaves the Wicca stance of like triple goddess, all of that. We leave that drastically and move into the more poison path of things, so quite the detour of things. And yeah, so you've got that overlay throughout the entire book. And then it goes through 39 different plants, and it's got like correspondence, properties, spells, rituals, and pretty much at the beginning of every chapter there's like a little poem kind of thing at the beginning. And yeah, that's what this book is about. So I gave this one a 3, and it is one of the reasons that my 3-star videos at the end of the year is plural, because we are going good, the bad, and the meh. Because I don't know where I'm gonna put this one yet. It's not in the good category, but is it bad but still okay? Like still in the 3? Or is it in the meh category? I haven't decided. So this book is a lot. So first of all, when you, like the first page that you read, that kind of wording is the entire book. So if that is not your style, it's not it for you. That's okay. I didn't like the writing style at all. And this is one of those few times that like there was another reviewer that honestly put that aspect of this book into such better wording than anything I could have come up with. So this is Caitlin's review, and I just want to read some of it because she put it so elegantly. It's like we'll just read this, okay? I disliked basically everything about this book and really only finished it so I could bear witness to every horror it had to offer. I have also been there, Caitlin, and yeah, sames. The writing style of this book is academic, but not in the dry informational way of ages past. No. This book feels academic in the modern sense, an overwrought word salad with a dressing of self-importance. I read that and I was just like, that is exactly how I feel. Would I put it at a 1-star for that? No. I know it's a writing style choice that not everyone loves. I am in that category. But yeah, that is exactly how it feels. Because it is a lot of words. It doesn't move the premise of the book, really. It's a lot. And then it reads like an essay written for a required page length, full of paragraphs with twice as many words as necessary. Yeah. And then it gives a really long example. I'm not going to read that one. The one that gets me is a little bit later in her review. And also, so Fox, and this is a quote from the book in the review, so this is on page 131 apparently. Foxglove is ruled by Venus and strongly linked to the emotional depths. Its resistance to being told what to do can overcome through sincerity and perseverance by an even stronger mind. It can make for an excellent study for those willing to explore their own shadow sides, but be well advised of its capricious nature. I don't know if I said that word right. I read a lot of words, but some of the words you don't hear all the time. It's not one that you come across in like the wild. Anyways, and it's like, why yes, you did read that correctly. This author includes foxglove in the 39 plants whose magic and medicine she describes. While the author states this book is a good introduction to plant magic, there's an awful lot of poisons recommended. And I will say that too. She did say very early on in the book that it's a great intro for anybody. Now, the author does include, especially for foxglove, that it is poisonous, but then also tells you to use it. And I think it was like one of them you had, I think it was foxglove, you made like a necklace out of the seeds. Are the seeds poisonous? Because you just said every part of the plant is poisonous, handle with care. Also planted at your front door. So just to give you context, I will link the full review below because it's a ride. I highly recommend you read through her entire review. But that just gives you a little snippet of like some of the parts that I was like, yeah. I don't know if I would go down to a 1-star for it because there is a few warnings. It does say toxic, but I don't know. It left me wondering because there was so much, like, I'm not big into plants. So I cannot confirm nor deny how poisonous certain things are. I'm going off of what the author said. Like, there's some that I kind of know, but honestly, I wouldn't know foxglove was that bad because I don't deal with plants. But it's like, it does tell you what parts are poisonous. Like, it has a lot of information. The properties and the correspondence sections for these 39 plants are really good. There's a lot of information. Is it good information? I don't know. And I just, after the losing trust in the author from the beginning and like going off the rails with some of the stuff, like it kickstarts of like men are the problem in the world and you're like, oh, okay, kinda, sure, yeah, all right. Like that's where it starts with the story of Medea. I think is how you're supposed to pronounce that deity's name. And it's from like her point of view and it's really weird. That's just, yeah, it's an interesting read. It's for a specific demographic, but I feel like also I don't know how much I'm allowed to trust this author given some of the other reviews and things. So I don't know, but there was good information. It felt like there was a lot for like handling herbs and like a lot of stuff to do. There's a lot of information. I just feel like you read this alongside other ones and do further research to make sure that you don't poison yourself and others. That's kind of a key part. And some of the ways she went about things, obviously if you're going down the poison path, you're probably not gonna be like consent is key, yo. Like she's not that person. So there's a lot of spells for not that. And I don't personally think that that's a great morality to do. I feel like magic should not be used for non-consenting ways. Sort of the eye for the eye makes the world blind kind of a deal. More of like, let's pursue justice, not I'm gonna be my own vigilante justice, you know? There's a difference. And yeah, I just don't agree on that front. All of that to say, you'd think that it would be a lower rating, right? Like there's so many things wrong. I actually had a couple things that I genuinely really liked from this book. It shocked me too. For the amount of stuff and the amount of writing in this I did not like, and the amount of stuff I did not agree with and was like cringing at, where it's like, the mother, and it feels like you're in like a cult, like a real cult. There was a few parts that I actually really loved. And they were random. So at the beginning of every chapter, there are these poem-y things. And there was 2 I absolutely fell in love with. Truly, I think the author's skill lies in this kind of poetic writing. They could do, like this, Cyndi could totally do like a poem book. And I think it would actually do better for her. Like, I think that is where her skills lie, to be perfectly honest, because it's so good. So there's the 2 that I particularly really loved is the first one's on page 30 and it's called Soul Medicine. And it goes as the following. I was unwanted and witchcraft was my medicine. I was left broken and witchcraft was my medicine. I fell into the abyss and witchcraft was my medicine. I walked through the fire and witchcraft was my medicine. I healed and witchcraft was my medicine. I was reborn and witchcraft was my medicine. I stand in my power and witchcraft is my medicine. Is that not just like amazing? Like, hell yeah. So many of us witches, I feel like that would apply. Where it's like, you've gone through the ringer and every time, no matter what, you come back to the craft. And it is there to support you in some way. Some deity, some element, some spell, some ingredient, some myth, some something. Because there's a lot, you know. The astrology, numerology, herbology, whatever. Some part of it is there to support you and get you through it. And, you know, like, even the worst parts of life, you're going through a divorce, you're going through a death, you're going through job loss, you're going through financial hard times. Like, inevitably, we all kind of we can use witchcraft as our medicine, and that's like the thing of witchcraft is like you got to learn how to utilize it. And I feel like that's what it really means to be a witch. Is like it's easy to do witchcraft when like life is fine mostly, but when like life is in like the storm drain and like Pennywise is down there with you, that's when you can really decide if like you're truly a witch or if you're a witch when it's easy. Because like life gets really hard, like trying to stay a witch, like when you go through really challenging death, for instance, like that really puts your craft on fire. Like, can it remain, or is it going to burn to the ground? Because like that really makes you analyze a lot of things. And it's like a close death too, not like your distant second cousin twice removed. Like really close people to you. When that happens, it really makes you analyze how close are you to your craft. Are you relying on it? Is it your medicine? Or are you suddenly not believing in it, and you can only believe in it when things are mostly okay and you can be very optimistic, you know? And so I loved that. So good. And then there's another one on page 209 called The Spell. I'm not gonna read it because my camera's gonna overheat, but it's also really good. That one gave me very much like Freya vibes, specifically for satyr magic, where one of the key parts of it, at least from the wee bits that I know, is that it's a lot of weaving magic, and it talks about that. And it was really good. So ironically, those were two parts that I really, really loved from this book. So I think the author, please do more of that writing. You're really good at that. Like that, ooh, it hits different. If you had a whole book of that, I think it would be like one of my top books ever, to be honest, because those two, man, they hit good. So for this book, I would recommend it if you were interested or on the poison path. I don't really recommend that path personally, but you know, whatever. To each their own, free will is a thing. And also if you are wanting a very modern approach to this goddess Hekate, if you're a reconstructionist, if you want a more traditional look towards her, this is probably not for you. And if you are into herbalism, maybe it does have a lot of correspondences, but also I would be double checking through other books as well. So anyways, I would love to know your thoughts on this one, and also if you have read her other book. Her other famous one apparently is Keeping Her Keys. I've heard about it, I just haven't read it yet, so I don't know. Is it good? I don't know. I'm nervous. Is it gonna be like the good writing, those little snippety snips, or is it gonna be like the majority of this where it's like, what is going on? I don't know. If you've read it, let me know your thoughts on it in the comments down below. A huge thank you to my patrons. If you would like to support me and get access to exclusive content, I usually try and post Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And until next time, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an upload from me. And until next time, bless be.